Hey guys, a very different type of review today. We are ditching the motorcycles, we are ditching the cars for our first ever truck review. Now this is going to be awesome because this is also the first ever electric truck in Malaysia. This is called the Volvo FM, and to help us understand this product better is William, the Volvo Trucks Malaysia product and price manager, right?
Yes, correct.
So William, I mean, this is something that we have never done before, but it's very exciting because it marks a new chapter for electric mobility in Malaysia. So I understand that you've already sold two of these trucks.
Yes,
right?
Yes, exactly.
And I bet they're not cheap. Yeah.
Yes, there's of course, a little bit price to pay because it's something new for this market.
Yeah.
But we are very happy that we have our partner there. If you look up there, it's the Swift logistics company.
Swift Logistics.
Yeah. Okay. So they actually are the considered the first takers for this new technology.
Okay.
Because they understood they have the same vision as us. Sustainability is something that is all on our mind.
Yeah.
It's for the future and all that.
Yeah.
And somebody has to take the first move, and
of course,
so glad they took the first step together with us at Volvo here.
Yes, correct. It's not only anybody can take the first step, but having the right type of support is also very important, which is where you guys come in.
Yeah.
So that is what we have William here with us today, because he's not only going to take us for a walk around the truck, he's actually going to take us for a drive, a short drive. Now we only have about 15 minutes of William's time, so let's take a quick walk.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So in terms of the body,
yeah,
it's basically the same as the other Volvo trucks?
Yes, actually what you are seeing here is exactly the same as our usual diesel trucks, okay? The only additional things that you will notice here is that the electric piece here, that symbolizes that these vehicles are indeed electric. Okay. Now we have added on a couple of things to improve the aerodynamics, because when it comes to electric, it's all about the range, right? So on top of that, you don't have a sun visor as your usual diesel trucks, because we want to improve the aerodynamics. Right. We have added on some bumpers at the bottom here, so to improve the the airflow around the vehicle. Yeah, so that's additional actually. Yeah. But apart from that, still the rest is still the same as our diesel trucks. Still the same safe Volvo. Okay, we have LED headlamps. We have the front collision warning on this vehicle.
Oh wow, where's the radar for that?
The radar is actually here.
Oh wow.
There's the radar, and it's assisted by a camera on the top there.
Okay.
Yeah. So we also have lane keeping.
So there's two cameras, right? This one?
This is actually for the light detection. So this vehicle comes with automatic headlamps. Yeah. So because there's too many times I think people forget to turn on the headlamps.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
So
you see it all the time.
For better safety, I would say.
And the aerodynamics for any EV or electric truck ET for this matter, right? It's important. Aerodynamics is important because it helps you improve range.
Yes,
right?
Indeed. So we have done a couple of things to improve the range. So the only thing that will be very, very different here, apart from the batteries, of course, now we have swapped out the engine for the motors. Correct. Right? So this vehicle comes with 3 electric motors. Okay, combined together they produce 490 kilowatt of power output.
490. So that's roughly.
So roughly in horsepower, we are used to that term, is 666 horsepower.
That's insane.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
I think the Ferrari Enzo used to make that much power, but that's a totally different topic.
It is
whatsoever. Okay, but where are these motors placed?
All right. So the motor is actually located just in front of the gearbox. So these vehicles, apart from behind the transmission, everything is more or less same as your diesel trucks in terms of driveline.
Even the chassis?
Yeah, the chassis is actually the same thing.
Right.
Okay, and the front part is where it is different. Right. We have electric motors. We have a lot of control modules here, because electric. Also, there are people who are concerned about everything, but we are putting a lot of safety measures there. Okay. For example, we monitor the temperature of the battery, we monitor the cell temperature, all these kind of things, just to make sure that the vehicle is constantly monitoring all these things. Make sure that everything is safe to use on the public road.
That's insane. So the motor is here, but the batteries have to be spread out along the chassis, right?
Yep.
Because weight balance?
Yeah, weight balance is one thing. Of course, another thing is that the size of the batteries. Yeah. So if you were to put everything under the cab, apart from the size, there's also a matter of safety as well.
Yeah.
So if you see in electric vehicles, if there's a fire, the fire is very, very, very strong and it's difficult to put out. Yeah. So we have put the batteries at the back here. Yeah. So that's for safety and also for the size itself. Yes. Okay. So what you're looking here, these are are the batteries. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batteries over here.
Okay.
Right?
So the batteries are roughly about this size?
Yeah, about there. It's like a cube, so it's pretty big.
Oh wow,
Okay.
that's like generator size.
Yeah, I think just to give a comparison, one of these battery pack hold about 90 kilowatt hour.
Yeah.
Your Tesla Model Y holds about 81 kilowatt hour, right?
And this has 4.
This is 6 Teslas
6.
on this vehicle.
Oh my
It's a lot, it's a lot.
But we usually, in terms of cars, we usually hear that motors are placed on the axle.
Yeah.
But you're saying the motor is placed here.
Yes,
How many motors?
we have 3 motors here,
Yeah.
right in front of the transmission.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons, of course, we put up that is because we can quickly move over into electric driveline.
Yeah.
Yes, e-axles is being developed in Sweden as far as I understand
Okay.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay, but now for what we have now is just just swapping out the engines with the motor itself.
That's okay. The other thing that because we are so ingrained with EVs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even the gearbox for this, I know EVs have a special gearbox.
Yeah.
Honda calls it ECVT. But truth of the matter is, there's no gearbox in that. But this has a 12-speed gearbox.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, but how do you connect the electric motor with a regular transmission?
Okay, of course we have a converter that connects the motor to the transmission. So in between the motor and the transmission, we have a coupler now.
Yeah.
So in the past, we used to have engine, clutch, and then a gearbox, right?
Yeah.
So now we have a motor, converter, then your gearbox.
Right. Insane.
So one more thing to add on here, of course the gearbox, although it's a 12-speed, but we have actually programmed the software so that it's better for the torque coming out from the motors because it's instantaneous, right?
Correct. That's the thing about EVs, which takes me to my next question.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to trucks like this, horsepower is one thing.
Yeah.
But what you really need is torque.
Yes.
That's 2,000 over Newton meters of torque in here.
2004 to be exact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is actually quite a powerhouse.
It is.
Right. So if it's let's say pulling a trailer of, let's say, I don't know, 4 tons.
Okay.
How long can I drive this? How far
Okay.
can I drive this?
We actually have done a lot of simulations before we actually propose any specification to customers.
Yeah.
Most of the time, for this vehicle, it can pull, let's say, about 43 to 44 ton.
Okay.
It can last the range for about, let's say, 280 to 300 kilometers, depending on the terrain, the day of the time of the day, and so on. Yeah.
That's impressive.
So maybe let me give you a bit of a background on that as well. So 300 kilometers, a lot of people think, oh, a prime mover has to be a long haul, right? That's what we have in mind.
Yeah.
On the highway, we see a lot of these trucks. But actually, we have 55% of our customers driving 300 kilometers or less in a single day.
Oh wow! You think that trucks will go further than that?
No, actually, it's not.
No. Huh?
So similarly, for this case as well, this customer is actually using it in between the port itself to their yard somewhere in Shah Alam, something like that. It's not that far, and they can complete it with one day's. The one-day mission with the batteries that they have here.
I think we need to completely change our mindset because these things they don't go very fast because they have a lot of. So for a car, 200, 300 kilometers is like KL to Penang, for example. But for them, will take much longer because they actually have stuff to pull.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Now let's talk about the tires because for EVs they have a low rolling resistant tires, but EVs are also heavy, so the tires need to be specific. I know not all EVs use this, but they are EV specific tires. What about for the trucks though?
So for the trucks, I think the rolling resistant, we are pretty much on there already. I mean, we already have a lot of technology talking about rolling resistance for the trucks. So that in the conventional diesel engines, right? You make sure that the vehicle can run far, be very fuel efficient, and all that. So moving on to EV, then what is really different here? We just need to make sure that the vehicle can take on the empty weight of the vehicle. Actually,
empty weight.
Yeah, that's all. Because there are people who have asked me, do you need specific tires? Not really, because in the diesel trucks, they used to carry like 70 tons. So the tires can handle the load. It's just on the empty load itself, you have to make sure that the tires are big enough to handle that kind of weight. Especially on certain axles, I would say.
So, talking about suspension and axles, this thing runs on air suspension.
Correct.
But is that for versatility, durability, or comfort? Or?
It's for the lightweight system itself, because for air suspension system, they are pretty much lightweight if you want to carry heavy loads versus the spring suspension.
Right.
So that's why we see the advantage of using the air suspension.
Amazing. Shall we?
Yeah.
Let's go for a drive. So, William, this cockpit is this what you call it? A cockpit, right?
It's a cabin.
Cabin. That's right. This cabin is basically. Is this the same thing that you see in a diesel truck?
Yeah, actually what you see here basically more or less is actually the same as what you see in our diesel trucks.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's really not much difference except for what you see in the instrument cluster here.
Okay.
That's the only telltale sign I think you can find that this is electric, because now they don't show you how, like in terms of the fuel gauge.
Yeah.
Now they tell you how many percent of battery you have left.
I can't see from here, but that's a digital meter panel.
It is.
Right. So is that the only key difference?
I would say yes. Yeah. I would say yes.
I think the gear knob as well, right?
No, the gear knob is exactly the same as what we have in diesel. Yes,
so
exactly.
So the diesel trucks, the newer trucks, are all automatic?
Yes.
Oh wow.
In fact, actually, I think Volvo, there's not even an option for us to go with the manual anymore.
Oh right.
Yeah, there's a lot of advances that has went on in the development of transmission, especially for heavy-duty commercial vehicles.
Okay.
In the past, where we have a manual transmission, there's a lot of issues with misoperation.
Okay.
You know, people burning clutches, wasting the clutches. So all these lead to a lot of waste and resources.
Right.
So moving into automatic transmission actually reduces these kind of issues. It brings a lot of uptime, more uptime for our customers actually.
It's amazing. But show us what this thing can do. Let's go.
Yeah, so
I feel like I'm riding Optimus Prime.
Yeah, so this vehicle actually has already started.
What?
Yes.
So there's nothing, like there's no clutter.
You don't feel any vibration, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so you see this, I mean, we are all guys over here, and one of the key things for drivers, right, long haul drivers, was that because they're sitting down on diesel, on a diesel engine all the time, because the diesel engine used to literally be here.
Yes.
So their reproductive organs used to sort of take a hit. This is what I actually read in a report.
Okay.
And the good thing about EV trucks right now is that there's hardly any vibrations in here as well. So
there's no vibration and
nothing. You literally feel and hear nothing as well. Yeah.
It's a very surreal kind of experience.
Totally. Like a magic carpet.
Yeah. So it's very, if you have been in trucks a couple of times, you'll find that this is something like, wow, out of the world.
There's nothing, you don't feel anything, there's no vibrations on the dashboard, you don't feel anything here.
No, so totally nothing at all.
So you mentioned that there's 3 motors.
Yes.
So that's to drive each axle. Is it front, the second?
No,
and third?
actually it's not. It's meant to drive the whole driveline itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you can think of it as replacing your engine completely.
Okay.
Yeah, so that will be the electric motor. So you can see here, it's totally silent.
Oh my, this is unreal.
If I were to talk to you in this volume,
I can totally hear you.
I don't think it's possible in the diesel trucks. Yeah.
But this is amazing. But this again can't be safe, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there's always a different skill sets that you will need if you want to go into electric vehicle driving. So that's why actually for our end is that we make sure that we train our customers' drivers before they take on the vehicle.
Right.
Make sure that they are aware what they are driving is a little bit different. Right. For example, driving this vehicle, you are aware of people because now you can hear better surrounding. Yeah. And there's a lot of sensors around the vehicle to alert you if there's any object around you. But the point is, people can't hear you. Right? So we put on some speakers on the external of the vehicle at the front and the rear to let people know that you are moving. You know, when you're coming to a stop, idling, reversing. Always we have the sound on the external part of the vehicle.
That's great as well, but the other thing that I need to point out is that inside here you hardly hear anything of the outside world.
Yes.
Is it because sound insulation, double panel glass? Or?
No. We have additional sound insulation for the new generation of FM actually.
That's all.
So that's the same thing for the diesel as well. So now our trucks are actually quieter than before. Moving into electric, of course, is even more quiet.
Right.
Yeah. And I think I have to add this as well is that probably when I say quiet, for a lot of people it doesn't make sense. You know, it's like quiet, so what and all that. But we must always remember that for truck drivers, they actually drive 8 to 10 hours a day in a vibrating box.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it can be actually pretty stressful and not so good for health, I would say as well. So moving to electric, so much better. You can totally imagine.
Yeah, so much more comfortable. And I think if trucks are like this, you mentioned earlier while we were talking off camera that finding drivers is actually difficult.
It's a challenge.
But if this is how good it's going to be, truck drivers can actually perhaps be a professional job as well.
That's what we at Volvo Malaysia we are aiming to help to promote actually. Being a truck driver shouldn't be something that people think of like being dirty, difficult,
exactly.
And dangerous. It should be something that we treat with respect, and that they should see themselves in a more how to say in a better position.
Correct.
I would say. Yeah.
They drive the economy.
Yes.
That's very important. Truck drivers play a very important role in turning the wheels of economy, so to speak. Having grown up in the 80s and 90s, your parents were like, if you don't study, you don't pass SPM, you're going to become a truck driver. And they put it in such a bad light. But then when you grow up, you realize that, hey, you need truck drivers, because how else are you going to get all your Shopee stuff and Lazada stuff delivered to you?
And that's like maybe something that you buy, like, that you don't eat. But think about food part. I always say this, today probably you go to a grocery store, you buy some strawberries, so to say, right? We can't grow strawberries in KL.
Precisely. Yeah, precisely.
We get them from Cameron. Some of them actually we get them from out of the country. Who drive these things? Who make this happen? It's the truck drivers. Actually.
Yeah, of course.
And being on the road 8 to 10 hours a day is definitely harsh on them. Very, very difficult. So I think for us, we see that. And I think hats off to the drivers out there, and we should treat them with more respect, of course.
Totally agree.
And that's why, if you look at the cabin here, we have put in quite a bit of comfort creatures as well.
There's leather seats too.
These are actually PU.
PU, huh?
Yeah, PU and fabric. So fabric is a little bit more comfortable because if it's hot, then you don't sweat out. It's not perforated or breathable. But PU, being a truck driver, sometimes they actually move in and out of the vehicle so frequent that the seats get worn off. So PU is just to protect that a little bit. And over here we have the bed. It's pretty wide, comfortable for even a big size around. And it's I think those are the cameras are sitting on there. They can feel the comfort level of that. Yes, and also this vehicle we have equipped it with what we call as a Volvo dynamic steering.
Okay.
Yeah, you may want to feel it yourself.
Really?
Yes, you can. Okay. Okay, you can come over here and just feel the weight of the steering itself. Now, since we're not driving, so I've engaged in the parking brake now. You can come over a little bit.
Okay.
So this is a little bit heavier than your usual diesel truck. Okay.
It's like your power steering is not turned on.
Yeah, exactly. So now have a feel again.
Oh, nothing.
I think for a normal male adult, you actually use a finger to actually just turn the whole steering. You can.
I think even perhaps a child could do this. It's so light.
Exactly. So this is something that we have spec into this truck, so to make sure that the drivers are actually having a better time when they're driving the trucks. You see, if you're driving a truck, it's pretty heavy, and you need to do a lot of movement all the time. But if this thing is light, actually help releases the stress on the shoulders. Yes. So and also when you're reversing, this steering actually can straighten by itself. I know we're used to that in a passenger car, right? But in the trucks it doesn't do that. If you are
there's no central.
There's no central. Come back to the center location. So with the Volvo dynamic steering, actually the truck, when you are reversing, you can come back to the center.
Right.
So this vehicle also comes with automatic parking release or engagement. So
like the electronic parking brake.
Yes. Okay. And so, example, if you get into the vehicle, put in the D, step on the brake, you can go.
So does it have adaptive cruise control as well?
No, unfortunately, no, not for this truck, but it does have cruise control.
Right.
So
it's just not adaptive now.
No, it's not. Of course, in the future we will look into having that on the vehicle as well. It's something that can help you to, predict the traffic a little better because. A lot of times, I think we can have errors if you're not focused and all that. So let the computer do the work, the hard work for us, so to say.
So because it's so powerful, are the brakes different?
No, I mean this vehicle actually we limit the weight to just 44 tons because it's new for us as well. We also want to look out, how does the wear and tear is for the vehicle and all that. So 44 tons, that's like half of what the diesel trucks can do actually. Of course, we are testing.
It's half, huh?
It's half. The diesel FM can handle up to 70 ton by design.
Wow.
So it's only 44.
Right.
So being at Volvo, of course, we want to play a little bit safe just to see how everything pans out first.
Right.
But there are tests being done right now in Sweden that for example, the higher spec FH, where they go. How to say? They put the design weight itself up to about 74 ton.
Wow.
So a lot of people
those are bigger brakes and
those having bigger brakes and all that. So because a lot of people have been asking me, 44 ton is not what we are used to to carry, So we are aware of that.
44 tons for them is nothing.
It's nothing. It's nothing.
Wow.
So we are aware of that, and we also want to listen to our customers' voices and all that.
Of course,
So we are in the testing stage right now for higher capacity trucks.
Right. That's amazing. Now, coming from a car background, four wheels and such, I gotta ask, do we get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto? How many USB ports? Type A or Type C?
Okay. So we don't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto as of now. That is still under development.
I think that's quite just a software update or something.
Exactly. So we have only one USB, and this is conventional type, so it's Type C yet.
Okay.
But of course, we also have the 12 volt, 24 volt charging as well.
Right. This is for your appliances.
Yes.
24 volt is actually quite a lot.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So it's already all right. Yeah. And probably this is something not everyone have seen before. This vehicle has a camera. It's just right underneath your the mirror, side mirror.
So on all sides, 360?
No, it's only on your side.
Right.
Because as a truck driver, most of the time when they enter into the accident, it's about blind spot.
Yeah.
Right? We have done tests before locally as well. I can ask somebody to stand at the A pillar, just right there.
Won't be able to see.
As a driver, you can't see. But with the camera, it's a different story though. Like right now, I can't see the ends of the bucket. And here, you can see very clearly what are there. Okay.
Is that a touchscreen?
Sorry?
Is that
It is a touchscreen.
Right.
It is a touchscreen. So
that's your entertainment. That basically houses everything.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. And then of course on this screen itself you can set your charge management if you want to. So charge management is that you can go plug into a charger and set how much percentage you want to charge. Most of the time we don't have to charge to 100% actually.
Right.
Yeah. So because a lot of people are like, 2 hours is a long time to charge for a truck. It's quite different from passenger car.
Yeah, of course.
We can for passenger car we can take like 1.5 hours. It's fine. We go for lunch. But believe it or not, truck drivers actually rest sometimes. 15 to 30 minutes.
Oh, rest?
Yes. Just to have a lunch and get going.
Get going again.
That's how fast paced we are.
Life,
And so a lot of times half an hour to 1 hour charging is more than sufficient to get the vehicle going. So we have done some simulations for our customers' operation. So actually they only need to charge about 30 minutes to get going and complete the mission with extra buffer capacity to come back to the base at the end of the day.
That's perfect,
That's all you need.
So in regards to charging, the Volvo FM will be able to take up to 240 kilowatts of DC charging.
250 actually.
250 kilowatts of DC charging.
Correct.
So with that many batteries, 560 kilowatts worth of battery packs, it'll still take up to 2 hours to charge it.
It'll take about 2 hours. But like I said earlier, most of the time we don't expect people to charge from 0 to 100. Anyway, you should not go to 0. Right? So let's say about 10% to about 80%. You maybe take about 30 to 60 minutes, depending on the charger specifications. So like the one that we have here, this is about 180 kilowatt. More than sufficient to use up your electric truck if you need to. Halfway through the mission and all that.
And CCS2 cables?
Yes, CCS2 cable.
So regular cables.
So you can, even if you run out of juice somewhere, you want to go to any DC charger, you can go actually.
You can,
Of course, most of the time we only find one issue with the public chargers nowadays. They have a roof.
Exactly. No, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was thinking about the outlets in Shell, in Petronas and everywhere. There's none that is outdoor such as this. But this presents a different challenge because what if it starts to rain? No issues.
For the rain part, actually, there's not much of an issue. Of course, it's not advisable to charge it when it's heavily raining. Yeah. But anyway, this vehicle has sufficient battery if you have 10%, to last for some time. But when it's raining and you're already charging, there is no problem because there's insulation built in.
Okay. So, amazing truck. There's no doubt about it. William, I won't take up much more of your time. I'm simply blown away. And you're ready to deliver 2 models right now?
Yes.
So, to a local haulage company.
Yes.
And will we see more? Are there orders for more?
Oh, yes.
Really?
The inquiries is through the roof, I should say.
Wow. Through the roof, that's
Through the
actually...
roof.
So, I think COP charging outlet providers or something have to simply up their game because hauling stuff is not just within the Klang Valley, it's across the country.
Indeed.
So wow, totally.
We are doing quite a lot as well from over Malaysia. Here we have collaborated now with Plus Malaysia, Plus Berhad, to make sure that we start to set up chargers for these kind of trucks in the highways.
By Volvo itself?
It's not going to be by Volvo, but we will advise in terms of the specific, the technicalities bit.
Right.
Yeah, so with the example, the roof bit, can't have it on the truck's charging station. We can't have that.
True.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, William.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching, guys. The only thing left for us to review is a boat and a plane and a helicopter. So our first ever truck review, the Volvo FM electric truck. Totally blown away by everything that it has to offer. Thanks, William. Really appreciate it, and do consider subscribing.